NYC Youth Sports Podcast Show. I'm your host, Coach Uncle Milt, and we at the double three episode here. Very special episode. We're gonna get into some hot and sticky topics, man. And you know, we all coaches, so sometimes we gotta do our laundry, and sometimes our laundry is dirty. Sometimes our laundry is so. But we got to do laundry, We got to talk about the state of coaches on the youth level. Before that, I'm going to pass the camera around. We want to introduce who's here with us. We have we got Alex on the. Hold on. Yeah, so we're gonna introduce the panel that we got. We wanted to put it in our conference room, but sometimes when you plan stuff, and I have to remind we still in the epidemic. I'm trying to forget this little thing we got, this little hiccup, with this virus thing, man. But I feel that we survived the last year. It started it, and we survived the hot days. And I think we at the tail end of it, and we got to get back to normalcy, some normalcy. So I do like to produce live in the studio, and it's not taking my mind off of it. But we are surviving people, and sometimes we gotta move on. We gotta move on. We living. Those who with the living has to continue to take care of the living and take care of each other and just move on, man, and see where it's lying. I'm like this. Let's see where it goes. I survived. I didn't get nothing. I got it and it was over. Maybe I'm immune to it, but I didn't get anything. I tested several times. I've been to my doctors. I got my own medical, far as my own medical so-and-so, what's going on with me. But without that, we couldn't pull it off. But we're glad to have people to Skype in on us and see we can get this out. It's a very important topic to us, and it's a very important topic that needs to be said and it needs to be put out there and everything. So with no further ado, we have one coach in the studio. Can you introduce yourself and tell us where you're from and things of that?
What's up, everybody? I'm Coach Greg from the Long Island Renegades.
Oh, hold on. Alex, that's you.
Oh, yeah.
Hold up, Coach. This Coach Alex here. This is you. Just introduce yourself and say,
Coach Alex Coombs, from co-founder of About You and director of the Harlem Jets.
And you have a gym down here in Long Island City. They got a new workout facility down here in Long Island City. They just opened up, and he's a director of that, and also you do training?
Yes. So we run a student athlete development center, and basically we deal with standardized test prep, job placement, career services, in addition to strength and conditioning.
Okay, yeah. All right. So they're all about trying to get the student athlete together.
Yes.
Like that. So his view is important because he see the athletes coming from the youth level, and and so his view is very important. Then Coach Principal, you're next.
Sorry about that. Yeah, what's up, buddy? I'm Coach Greg. I'm the president and coach of the Long Island Renegades Youth Football Organization.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. And we had another person on the panel. We're waiting for the special guest. We're glad to have this brother, and we're just waiting for him to come in. We sent the Skype thing to him.
Special? I thought I was special.
Well, I'm so when you hear who he is, then you will understand.
Okay.
Greg ain't special. Greg is a great principal.
You will, Coach. You will understand. When he comes in, you will understand. Like you're second best.
Fair enough.
Okay.
I gotta see what his guess is before I agree to that one.
I guess Jesus.
I don't know if Greg could be second best to anybody. I don't know. Not after this year, man.
When he comes in, I'm hoping he comes in. We send a link over, but hoping he comes in, you'll find out. You'll understand. And who this other guy right here, Coach. Introduce yourself and say where you from and what you do.
Who's that? Me?
You.
Oh my! I know. I thought it was another screen going to pop up.
You.
I'm not Ralph from D1 Nation.
I just want to let people know that's on the panel that we got professionals and people from different parts of youth sports and also youth football. So we not, when we talk about these topics, we're not talking about some, like out of experience. I coached for 6 seasons. I'm here, I am the president of this podcast show, NYC Youth Sports, and do coming in the youth sports arena as not even a coach. I was like a team helper. They created a position for me. They call, because it was the team mom's position. So I was like helping the team mom. So they named me team parent, and I had no kids on it. But I guess they they made up a name for me. So I started from the bottom of a staff, and getting the water, picking up kids, getting the oranges and everything together. And then the next year, I applied myself to be a coach. And my first year was, rocky. I didn't know too much. And then the second year, I started getting better and better and better and better. And I feel that if this is a good way of bringing in new coaches, because they play the game doesn't mean they can teach kids. You know what I'm saying? It's a different thing. I thought it was like that, and I thought it was, I see it on TV, I can do it, but it's different. It's a whole different thing, and it's the psyche of kids. It's the psyche of kid. How you make a kid physically, how you make a kid mentally to make him believe that he can physically tackle somebody to the ground. I'm gonna repeat that. When you come in a new kid, to make him feel mentally confident that he can physically tackle somebody to the ground. Yeah. And that's a hurdle.
Yes.
That's a hurdle, So we're gonna talk about those things and things like that. So we got our first topic. Before we get into that, Alex was telling me about some news about youth sports on a youth level, like youth football. He said something about they might allow high risk sports for soon.
Yes.
Okay. And that's for youth football here in New York City and basketball and things like that. And in track and things, we might have some sorts this spring. Maybe we might have some coming back, and that's kind of like good news right there. But at the high school level, and my view at the high school level, as far as PSAL. I'm I'm just gonna put it out there, man. I hope, I said this the last show, that I hope it's not financial that's stopping kids. I hope it's not a financial thing, as far as budgets and things like that. And it may be, the wind may be blowing over there that they are delaying this until, the season is over or the school year is over. And then they might address it next. And it seems like, it's like, where's the money? Because it doesn't change. The budget is the same thing. 2020, and now you're in 2021. You still get a budget every year, and in that budget was set aside for public school sports, high school sports, junior high school sports. And so where did it go? So, I mean, I just hope it's not that, but the kids are suffering over here. The kids are suffering, and they need answers. So, with that said, it's looking good for youth sports probably this spring to get back into the parks, and they're gonna open up everything and get back in the parks in the New York City area. We already know Long Island and and upstate, and they all playing. They all good and everything, and so. I think it was a better choice because there is no budget going to youth sports. Is all out of parents and things like that. So with that said, we're gonna start this. Discussion. I call it the state of youth coaches and youth coaching, for the state of youth coaching, and it's one thing that I'm seeing. And I'm gonna pass the mic around, and y'all gonna give me your view on it. The one thing I'm seeing is that today's culture of youth coaching, and I call it the social media dilemma. The social media dilemma, like it's at this level, it's so much production and producing and coaching on a social media level. And I want to say that a situation in which a difficult choice have to be made, and what that is like, do I develop fundamentals, or do I create a false sense of achievement through social media? And I'm gonna start off with you, Coach Alex. What do you think?
I mean, the reality is it's somewhat of like a double-edged sword, right? Mm-hmm. So we use social media to get your message out, to get to bring exposure to your program, mm-hmm. young people, mm-hmm. From a positive light. Mm-hmm. The reality, though, is that same platform has, unfortunately, some evils, so to speak, and, mm-hmm. and oftentimes it can become a monster in its own. The biggest thing behind it is that as a program, you just have to make sure that you stand by your principles, your mm-hmm. core values. Mm-hmm. And if you go with that, then social media shouldn't turn into, the monster that we see it is in society.
Yeah, like a me, it's all me.
Yeah.
It's all me. I want to show that I can coach. I want to show that I got the kids. I want to show that I'm winning. That's when I'm looking at it, and I'm like, what that got to do with coaching at the youth level?
It's competition, right? So if you're attracting, for example, youth football, you can have 6 organizations in one zip code. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it's, how do I attract the neighborhood kid, instead of going to XYZ program, it comes the ABC program.
But when it became like college. When the neighborhood thing comes like college?
It's tough.
What do you think, Greg? Yeah. Coach Greg?
I think it's an interesting question that you pose. it clearly shows that you are out there paying attention, because it is out there. There are programs that are creating false senses of achievement through social media. But to that I say, it's you can only do that so much until you're challenged, and you're going to be challenged on it. You put your stuff out there, people are going to want to play against you. They're going to want to face you, and you don't want to have that false sense of reality when you end up getting exposed. That's what ends up happening. So, and it happens time and time again. I've noticed it in some places, in some areas. They put it out there. They talk a big game. They have these highlights on social, and next thing you know, it doesn't turn out to be the case, and then they get hung to dry very publicly and in a very nasty way.
Mm-hmm. But go ahead. Go ahead, Greg. You finished?
Yep. Go ahead.
Okay. So I saw, it's like the coach is seeing something. They know. I mean, I'm sure all coaches, if you want to, I don't think they delusional. You know what I'm saying? I think they caught up in the me thing. It's me, coach so-and-so. It's me. I'm football. I'm this. I made this kid. I made that kid. I'm just saying on the youth level, how did that happen? How do we take, because you got to understand, and I tell this people, the coaches all the time. A kid comes off the street. 90% of new kids, and Coach Greg, principal, you can tell me if I'm wrong or not. Because you have an organization, and 40% of your kids sometimes is new.
Correct.
Right? So how do you talk about the whole team as the team is good? No. So it's development. I mean, fundamentals have to be done, and development from there have to see before you even talk about anything.
Yeah, I mean, look.
Absolutely.
I know we're gonna get into it, and we're gonna have a lot of different angles to how we attack this.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely want to point out that if you're not teaching fundamentals at the youth level, I'm obviously preaching to the choir here, but if you're not teaching fundamentals at the youth level, then you're wasting everybody's time, essentially.
Yeah. And they say that we are, but but when you look at the tape and when you look at that, and you're not being, you see, another thing that I really don't really care for is that we are coaches and we are professionals, and when I coach, I didn't mind another coach if I felt that he was knowledgeable enough and teaching me enough to critique what I'm doing, right? So you see something and you're like, okay. The biggest thing that I see when you got a kid, 8 years old, 9 years old, in a shotgun, is that fundamentals? Is that no? Let's be honest. Is that fundamentals?
It depends, right? So yes, I understand what you're saying in terms of shotgun, fundamentals.
Yeah, but they don't even have their running game down right.
But with that said, if you look at the evolution of the game,
mm-hmm.
it's turning into a passing game, and that
at 8 and 9.
Yeah, I mean, think of a kid. Think of someone like Patrick Mahomes. That skill set that he was able to attain at under 25 years old is a direct indicator, whether we like it or not.
But are we talking about one situation, which is that, because I'm a numbers guy. So we talking about one kid, how many kids from that situation started from the youth and all the way to, that's a small number.
It
Well, no, I
depends.
think myself, the passing game is something that's coming at all ages.
Yeah.
And you see it when you start seeing all these different stages of people, they're passing at 6 and 7 years old.
Yeah.
You kidding me?
And they,
Yeah.
no, like you got and it's being done.
What
The
pass-
game, like the guy said, the game is changing. It's
How many yards?
So they're not waiting.
How many yards a 6-year-old can throw the ball?
You'll be surprised, man. They just gotta have that
It's a
one
small
play,
number.
And it's going down,
It-
man.
I think
it's a small number because not too
it's
many
a
people-
small number, and everybody is copying. Everybody is trying to push that. It's a small number. If you get a kid that can do it, that's a small number.
It's gonna be hard to stop, especially at that age, at 6. If you got somebody that can pass and a receiver that can catch it, not too many people gonna be able to
Exactly.
stop it.
You're not gonna you're gonna have peanut butter and jelly without the bread. It's something you ain't gonna have.
When you have a group that's that young, the more often than not, you're not going to have too many kids that can pass and catch. If you're lucky, you'll have one kid that can throw it and one kid that has, the motor skills there to catch it. More often than not, from what I've seen. And if the kids can handle it, and if you could teach the proper pass blocking fundamentals that young, then by all means, go for it. But you really have to coach and cater to the group that you have. For example, the kids that I have now, some of them I've had since they were 5 and 6. Now, were we passing as early as 5 and 6? No, we weren't. But I was able to identify a core group of kids that had more, advanced motor skills than some of these other little kids. And we started to develop a little bit of a basic passing game. Now, were we in gun? No, because my center wasn't developed enough yet at that time to be snapping it that way.
Yes.
Quite frankly, I'm still having some difficulties with that.
Yes.
But again, you have to cater to what you have. And for me personally, and anybody who's played me more than once knows that I'm very risk averse, right? So, if you're in something like a spread offense and you got gun going on, you better make sure that you have the specialists there that do have that advanced ability. And you have to sit there and you have to coach it and you have to go through the motions to the point where they master it and they have the muscle memory to do so. Sometimes you have to tell those kids to get to practice early and even have to stay after practice just to get that done.
But the thing is that they created coaching on a youth level to always do basic, because it's a number thing. It's a number thing. Because you have a quarterback at 6 or 7 or 8 that can throw the ball, the whole team overall cannot create the success of trying to develop that situation, because you got to block. It's timing. It's this. It's a lot of things. So you can't. There's no way that you can do both, because this is why they create. A standard of coaching, development, of development and fundamentals, and see the development. So this is I'm saying the overall team. People have just dropped the rest of the team to concentrate on what they want to do on the passing game. And I'm like, wait a minute, I know this is what you want to do, but it's other things that you're not doing, and it's not developed the rest of the kids, because it's a team sport. It's the ultimate team sport. 21 positions got to be played at a certain percentage to order to have success.
Well, Uncle Luke, I think, as coaches that care about the final result, they're not going to continue to utilize a strategy throughout the game if it's not going to work. But I do understand your point about there being other positions on the team and how some could be neglected. For example, there have been a number of times where I've capitalized on the fact that, there's a lack of, some other programs sometimes, and it's clear at an age of 6, 7, 8, that the offensive line has been neglected, for lack of a better term. So, for example, we all got a bunch of dogs on the D line that get like 4, 5, 6 sacks a game.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's because, I mean, do these other programs dedicate time to the offensive line at the age of 5, 6, 7? Yeah, they probably do, but how much time do they dedicate? What amount of detail are you spending on that unit? Are you doing individual drills with that?
What do you think? Why they're not doing that? Why you think they're not doing it? I see that too. The O line is sometimes irrelevant.
Well, so I think what happens is, especially with a lot of new coaches, what they do is, they just try to construct a play in an aggregate sense and work outward instead of building block by block, and not going by, what they were taught and how they were taught when they were younger. If they played, sometimes you have a situation where the guy never played before. I know you said that doesn't matter, but that does matter because those of us who have played were educated by other people and continue to be mentored by other people. So you understand as a coach, if you have the tools that you need to be coaching, you know that you should have indies. And it doesn't matter how early it is. Your offensive line needs individual time. Your QBs and centers need individual time. Your running backs need individualized attention and instruction regularly.
Yeah.
But I feel like at a lot of these really young levels, it's tough because, a lot of these kids, are still learning how to walk right. They're still learning how to truly control their bodies. So,
What do you mean, kids?
Yes.
You talking about kids, coach?
yeah, I'm
Yes.
talking about kids.
All right. So, whose responsibility? Justice coming on, coach. He's in. He's in.
He's not. He came on, but I don't think
He can't. Okay, he probably working it. I'm sorry, coach. Who you think the responsibility? Who's the adult? Because kids, yes, they come all. This is the youth level. This is what I'm saying. This is the youth level. So kids come all shapes, sizes, and colors, and skill sets and things like this.
Yeah.
This is why they made a basic of coaching. They made a basic thing, and they put fundamentals is today, tomorrow, and every day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think my view is that the reason why coaches don't stick to the curriculum of coaches with fundamentals is because one, patience. I want to show what I can do far as a coach. Right? I want to show that I'm a good coach. That I got this offense, I got this defense. But you don't have the tools.
Yeah.
Right? You don't have the tools and you don't have the patience to create the tools. I don't have the time.
Yeah. I mean,
You know?
to your point,
Yeah.
it's multi-tiered. I think to Coach's first point, the number one issue is quality of coaching. And prior to that, you need experience, right? So when you say the South, the Midwest, Western Pennsylvania, California, the reality is that a ton of those coaches are former players. So when they go down to these levels and they volunteer, right? Because I think the first thing we got to take a step back. On the youth level, coaches don't get paid.
Yeah.
So you're getting volunteers, right? But in those areas, those volunteers tend to have a wealth of knowledge, and they spread that within the organizations. The better the organization, the more they'll say, you know what, let's have in-house clinics. Let's go out to seminars. Let's go out to coaching clinics.
Yeah.
Let's take it that far. The reality is in New York City, this isn't a historic hotbed of football knowledge. It's a hotbed of football talent, but not football knowledge. So on the youth level, you're expecting, potentially a dad to understand man blocking against a 4-2 box. That the vernacular I'm using right there, 90% of the people are not going to understand what I meant by that. Hey, how do you block a 5-1 box? You know what I mean? It's tough. So I think as program heads, I know where you're going with it, but I think program heads need to educate their coaches. Yeah. And then you'll see that on the lower levels. And it's getting better. It's not great, but it's getting better.
And that's a perfect way of saying it, because I've dealt with younger coaches. When I came in, I was open. Yes, we don't, you know what the enjoyment was?
That's a commercial.
Okay, we're gonna go to the break. We're gonna go to the break, and I almost went past the break. Here, we're gonna put NYC Youth Sports out.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to my Kingdom listeners. You're listening to Cynthia Boone. They call me the Queen of Cars. I am the CEO of Kingdom Cars Unlimited, where you will get a Kingdom experience, not a dealership one. We can get you any make or model, new or used. Don't worry about your credit. If it's bad, we don't talk bad. We say trouble, because trouble don't last always. Call us at 917-309-0233. That number again is 917-309-0233. Also at Kingdom Cars Unlimited, you'll never walk onto a dealer's lot. We deliver your car to the door so you can drive and go forward.
To create a perfect student athlete, you must enhance these attributes: mind, body, and soul. In other words, education, fitness, and nutrition must be a part of your life. And it starts right here at the New York City Youth Sports Initiative.
Let's talk about playing football.
Coming soon, New York's first youth sports football state championship, calling all surrounding cities: New York City, Long Island, Peekskill, Poughkeepsie, Albany, Binghamton, Syracuse, Rochester, and Buffalo. The best youth football teams in New York, ages 8 to 13, competing for a state title. For more information, email nystatechampionship@gmail.com. This championship is organized by New York for New York Youth Sports Organization, Championship Row Podcast, and NYC Youth Sports Podcast Show Incorporated.
A community fundraiser. Each of us helps one of us. Think of a community hit with an epidemic that created financial devastation, massive unemployment, housing problems, and food shortages. To help the community to weather the tough times ahead, we must pull our resources together and create a cycle of funding. A one-time resource is help required. Each of us helps one of us with this continuously cycle of support. We'll relieve the burden off of you, the individual, with the help from the community. To join our community, email us at eachofushelpsoneofus@gmail.com. Leave your name and date of birth, and we'll send you the instruction video.
NYC Youth Sports. We're back. Coach Alex from About You in the studio. We're going to get the Skype back up. You know, guys, we're going to send the link right over and get the Skype back up. We got a special guest that's on the Zoom, and when we get that back up, we're going to do the announcement. But getting back to what you were saying, Coach, it's that the patience of I think because it's no financial gain for us here, but it's got to be the love of teaching a kid this sport. Love is the mentorship, and the team bringing us together as a team is the gratification for us, at least to me, because we all got professional lives, and we come in, we do this 2 hours, in practice, and on the weekend we there, and just seeing that kid, like we talked off the air, is just making that kid mentally believing that he can do something physically. Yeah. That's the gratification right there. Yeah. Now, the social media dilemma is that it's like it's me. So if it's about you, Coach Lala, if it's about you, Coach Lala, you know what I'm saying? If it's about that, how you're not gonna have time. You're gonna be making choices, and you're not gonna have time to have patience so development can happen in time. Because I got the kids I wanna do this. I wanna be the championship. I wanna win. I wanna this. I wanna go to nationals. I wanna be all of this in 1 year. Mm-hmm. So you sacrifice some things. Yeah. You do sacrifice some things. And this is what I say about the social media dilemma, because it's getting out there to a point that you're talking success, you're talking the achievement, and we don't see it. We don't see the works of it. And it's like they say in the Christian world, prayers without work. You know what I'm saying? You just talking, and that's the thing, and we have to be careful of that, especially because I can understand at the college level, because it's some type of entertainment in it, because they playing for, they playing for the TV rights, they playing for national championship, they playing for the pros. The pros are playing to entertain, they fans that's in there. But the youth level, that's where it's new. You're not going to have a stadium of 10,000 people. Yeah. I don't even know how the kids would they perform if they mentally, if they mentally, I heard a coach say one time, like, yo, the kids, they froze up because the lights. I'm like, for real? Yeah. They start moving the needles and start changing. But we don't really want to talk about too much of the bad part. We just seeing that this part is affecting the masses of the numbers. Yeah, it is. It's affecting on the high school level, and it's affecting on the college level, and it's it's like we gotta address it. That's just one topic. I got 3 other topics. Yeah. That's just one topic. We're gonna wait till they get back to Zoom back in. You send it to everybody, Joe. All right, okay. We're sorry about that. This is why I don't like Zoom. This is why I don't like. I got Coach Alice right in front of me. So it is what it is. It is what it is, man. And everybody's doing it. Everybody's doing it. So,
absolutely.
Everybody's doing it. Hey, listen, anybody want to call in? I know the phone lines was ringing. Please call back. It's 347 776-7070. That's 347-776-7070. We'd be glad to hear from you, about this topic. And we just holding up on, for the Zoom to come in. It seems like Ralph is back. Yeah, so we waiting for them to come back, and our special guest. We was on there, but they only gave us 40 minutes, so you know how it is, I'm not a fan of it, but it's this and that, so I'm not really a fan of it, but we do gotta do what we gotta do. Yeah. We also, not to get off topic, we're going to get on topic once our guests come back in the room. We also, in the planning stages of putting together the first youth football state championship tournament, and we reaching out to the major cities in the state of New York, bring the best youth football teams from ages 8 to 13, and we play in a tournament for the NY state title of youth football. And you're gonna see the promotions, and it's gonna, we are on the stages of building it and making it happen and stuff like that. NYCU Sports, who's calling?
Hi, this is Tim from New York.
You here? Hello?
Hello.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you great. What's your name, sir?
Tim.
Tim, how you doing, Tim? What do you do, Tim?
Good, how are you?
Fine. What do you do?
I coach.
Okay, what team you coach? And what level?
Youth, lacrosse.
You coach lacrosse?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and where you from?
Long Island.
Okay.
I live in New York now, though. I live in the city.
All right. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for calling in. What is your comment or?
I have a question for Coach Allen.
Okay.
I wanted to know, how have you watched children progress from youth all the way to college? And is there like some sort of pathway for any student athlete for any sport if they want to start at the youth level and play in college?
Yeah, can you repeat that again? It broke up.
Yeah, sorry. Bad connection. So I wanted to know, how have you watched children progress from youth all the way to the college level? And then is there some sort of like pathway that children who like aspire to play at the high school and college level, like is there some really basic fundamental component that a child in any sport should kind of focus on?
Great question. In terms of seeing kids from youth all the way to the college level, the number one or the common theme is that you want to harp on fundamentals, and all the kids who focus on fundamentals, focus on total development, both classroom, both physically, from a sports standpoint. It's pretty much the same thing. There is no secret sauce to this. As long as you put in your hours, the famous Malcolm Gladwell, numbers, the 10,000 hour rule, right? That equates to 10 years. 10 years of doing anything. Kind of. I think it's blocking me.
So sorry.
Oh. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
So, pretty much, yeah. It's pretty much the common thing. You see kids who day in and day out practice their craft. Usually, depending on obviously genetic factors, location, all of those things that come into play, they pretty much have a level of success. Are you going to be a Division I player? Not necessarily, but you'll wind up being a Division II, Division III. One thing I have seen is that the multi-sport athlete tends to have the greater window of success. The kid who's oftentimes the super stud running back, he usually maxes out in the 8th and 9th grade. It's usually the kid who is well-rounded, obviously sprinkled in with some good preparation physically, mentally, socially, all of those factors. It's always pretty much the same outcomes. But
yeah.
Absolutely, what I always see is that as long as they put in the time and they're very focused, they have a support system. That's another common thing. Kids with great support systems tend to maximize those opportunities.
Okay. Thanks for calling, man. Hello? You there? We must have hung up. Okay. Hey, we got a special guest in there. We gonna Everybody's back. Greg, you back? Coach Principal, you back?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Do you recognize this young man over here?
I'm afraid I do not. I'm sorry.
So I told him this is Big Just, man. He's the president of the Brooklyn Chiefs, one of the primary organizations in Brooklyn, East New York. This brother put together his organization is amazing, and he got coaches coming off the trees like apples in New York, and we want to pick his mind and how did he keep it together, how he keep coaches on, because he keeps them in the system of the chief system. That we coach like this, and this is what we about, and this is what we doing, and they all believe in it, and they stay put. Now we want to get him in. How you doing, Just?
I'm good, bro. You can hear me?
Yeah. You great, man. You look good too.
I'm trying to, bro.
All right, welcome, man. We're glad to have you, and we just want to ask you this question now: how did you do it over there at the Brooklyn Chief? Because your guys got coaches out the rafters over there, man, and they all good.
Listen, bro. We a family, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? I listen to my coaches. Any advice they got for me, or plus I got a lot of young coaches now. You know what I'm saying? We getting old now. I'm 51, so we got a lot of them kids don't be relating to us like that no more. So. We got some old brothers, but I figure maybe 5 or 6 of the rest of them dudes is like 30 and under. I even got some young ones now. I got about 6 or 7 young kids, maybe 21, 22, 23 that used to play for us. I always try to reach out to them and tell them, just come back and help the kids out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and as far as you keep them focused on. What you've been doing in the past, and probably reminding them that they're the future. And and because we were just talking about the social media dilemma. I don't know if you was looking at the show before you came on, and we was talking about how coaching is suffering because the social media dilemma of win at all costs, win at cutting corners and things, and I'm saying that has nothing to do with youth ball coaching, because it's fundamentals today, tomorrow, and every day, and then we see the development, and then we get success when we build a balanced development team, and we get success from that. So, what's your take of this new social media dilemma that we have with coaches?
I'm on it. Not so much. You know what I'm saying? But as far as with the coaching part of it, what can I? I mean, I just roll with the times, man. Like that's my thing. It's it's a lot of too much politics with a lot of things. I try not to stay out of that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't really worry about what everybody else organization is doing and how they looking, and you know what I'm saying? It's one thing that I learned that I just want to treat my organization like a family. And if you're not a part of the family, then don't be in our organization. That's how we like to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't go around throwing my muscle around. You feel me? I ain't like that. I mean, I respect all the guys, that been with me, you know what I'm saying, that from the beginning, you know what I'm saying, there's some new guys now over the last 10 years that been with us. They've been loyal to me, I went away, you know what I'm saying, and they stayed loyal, you know what I'm saying. A couple brothers that I grew up with didn't stay loyal, and they jumped ship. And you know what I'm saying, and but we still moving strong, you know what I'm saying. And to be honest with you, we moving stronger than when we was moving before, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean,
my wife held it down, my coaches, all my coaches and staff people held it down and kept it 100.
Mm-hmm.
And the program is basically running itself, man. I don't really be doing too much like that. You know what I'm saying? I just handle orders and uniforms and whatever we gonna wear and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
My wife and them do that now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like when you have everybody involved, into one goal. You know, this is probably one of the blueprints that we have to pay attention to. It's not individual, it's all of us. Like he said, it's a family. So it's all of us. You know, we all care about the quality with these kids. So now when you go out, you look like you're a tight organization and people enjoy coming back every year and give their time to coach, you know, and give their time to mentor kids and get them right, you know, and that's wonderful. That's the bright spot we need. You know, I don't want to I don't want to talk about bad things. You know, we got to point out certain things that's gonna hurt them. If it was a barrel of apples, right? It's a barrel of apples, and we start seeing some get right. Do we leave it there, or we just discard them? You know, because you know that the whole thing is gonna be bad. If we don't adjust, you know, and I just see that on this level, the youth level is, you know, there's more new kids that comes in, there's more kids moving on, you know, so we have to develop the team as one. You know what I'm saying? We have to develop we have to stick to, and I don't think if we stick to the basic and we stick to fundamental, it's no room to be on Facebook or YouTube or you know, or these other media sites saying, yeah, I got this kid, blah, 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 or I'm this coach and all this fire and you know what they say, I'm bringing the smoke and all this. And then when you see them, you're like, oh, okay, you know, it's about talk and no one checks them. Like Coach Principal said, like when you know the rubber meets the road, what you got? You know, you get exposed and what you got, and you get another excuse why it's not happening. Why it's not happening, because now it ain't me, it's the kids, and then like you know, okay, you want to go that way. We already know the kids need. Development. It's just what we got to work on every year until the kid gets to high school, where sports is different. Like I tell coaches all the time, like kids come off the street, they pay the registration fee. They got to pay regardless. Every kid that paid the registration fee, they got to play. That's when they create you know what they call that, the NPRs. They got to play. High school kid gets picked to play. If he's no good, no one's picking him. No, you're not on the sheet. You know, you're not. It happened to me. You know, it happened to me when I was in. I'm a basketball guy. So I told him my show that, you know, hey, please call the. Hold on, please call, not the cell phone, please. Please call 347-776-7070. It's on the screen. Please call the hotline, please. Thank you. You know, so you know, I was the first freshman that got on the varsity team, but I couldn't shoot free throws. So guess what? I was the first one to get cut. But down in youth ball, somebody would be working on my free throws. Come here, man, because it's different. Yeah. You know, we can't change it around. We don't, you know, on this level, guys, you know that we don't have tryouts. We don't have tryouts on this level.
Listen, Uncle Milt.
Yeah.
You have to stick to the script. You can't skip scenes, as Lil Wayne would say.
Yeah. You know.
So the good coaches and the good programs, they stick to the script.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, with the group that I have, the group of the players that I have, you know, we weren't always good. Mm-hmm. And we did lose a lot, especially on the final day in the championship. We lost a couple of those before we started winning. Mm-hmm. And that's because you have to go through the process. You can't. You gotta get beat to learn how to win. Sometimes, you know, you have to make the mistakes to know what you have to fix.
Just, you know the parties in the room. Y'all want to introduce yourself to Just?
I don't know none of them.
You know, I'm sorry, brother. You know, I'm a bad hospitality. Can young guys introduce yourself to King Just, the chief? You know, we start off with Alex.
Oh yeah, I mean, I know Just Harlem Jets over here. So I've known Just, or I've competed against his organization for 10 years. With a Leaf, Shandira, all those great athletes. This a great program, man. Historic program for us. A historic program.
I can't see you, Alex. Where you at?
Can you see me, brother? I haven't seen you, man, in years, man.
I only can see 3 people. I can see D1, Gregory, and you, Joe.
You only see the sky.
He only see he don't
see inside the studio.
He don't see inside the studio. Oh, sweat, Joe. I'm sorry. Okay, you don't see me.
He don't see you. Yeah.
He see me. Oh.
Yeah, I see you, Joe. I see you,
okay.
We don't see the studio.
You don't see in the studio. You don't see Alex. You see
not on the Zoom screen because I'm looking at it on YouTube too, so I see everybody.
Oh, damn, Just you might have to go on YouTube and get the show there, brother. Oh, because he's looking on this. Oh, he's looking on the. This is why I don't like Zoom, bro. I just don't like it, man. Oh, you looking on your phone, Just? All right, man.
He's not watching the show.
You're not watching the show. Okay. Let me say that we got Coach Alex. He's from About You. You know, and it's an organization that helps student athletes make adjustments in high school on the education and the training part of it and the testing and everything. You also got the promoter, Ralph Draper from D1. He's also he's promoting one of the biggest. We're putting it together. One of the biggest state tournaments is going to be the first youth sports football tournament for the youth, state championship. You know, we getting all the cities. He's getting. I'm working with him, and we getting all the cities in the state of New York, and we're gonna bring all the teams together to play for a state title. Right. You also got Coach Greg Principal. He's he's the president of the Long Island Renegades, right? Correct. Yes, he's the president of the Long Island Renegades.
Not to cut y'all off.
Yeah.
If I go on YouTube, what I gotta do?
NYC Youth Sports podcast show. It show right up. Okay, and you know.
Will I be included in the call still, or I won't?
Well, I think if you do it on your phone, it might kick you.
Yeah, you got to get to a laptop or a computer or something if you have it. If you have a laptop, you got a laptop.
Yeah, my daughter's on the plane.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, okay. Because you're gonna get cut off if you do it on your phone. You know,
I don't sweat it. Then ain't no big
all right. You know, you can see it's gonna be because it's a live show, but we tape it. You can go there later on tonight and see it. And see, you know, everybody in the room. But we just want to introduce, you know, good-minded people that's about doing something for New York, and doing something positive for the kids. And we want to know there is people out there that we can get together and make some things happen, you know, and see us off the field and everything. And this here in the show, the podcast show, and we're gonna be doing a lot of more stuff for the sport. With our sports desks and everything for the games and everything, and we just want to bring this content about what's going on in youth sports, and we want to bring it out there and talk about the achievements, and also talk about everything, and talk about the bad, the good, the bad, and the ugly, man. So we can get a better, stronger youth sports platform in New York City, you know, and New York State. You know, so you know this one. You know, we glad to have you, brother. We got the brother. He's one of the Mount Rushmores of youth sports in New York City, man. His organization it's been stellar. there's a couple of other organizations out there. It's been stellar this from the beginning, and we're glad to have you, man. And thanks for coming on this platform and speaking about this. So, the next topic I want to call, we went to the social media topic, is the ego. That's another thing that the ego is the person sense of self-esteem or self-importance, and how ego stop us from getting together to make something stronger. How ego is sometimes get into the way. Is that, how's that? How you feel that, just you spoke on it a little bit about the ego of sometimes the ego of people run away from each other, run away from themselves, and they make it bigger than what it is. And sometimes it's what it is. And then, what do you think about the ego, Just?
Well, I mean, I got an ego myself, you know what I'm saying? But, I look at it just on some football thing. Like, it ain't nothing personal with nobody. You know what I'm saying? You helping out the kids, I'm helping out the kids, and that's how I look at it. You know what I'm saying? This is going to be my 19th year. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing it a long time. So, I learned, like, the game from Sam Jackson. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, somebody that schooled me to the game. I also learned the game from Courtney. Like, you know what I'm saying? You take bits and pieces from everybody else, from Sam Barnes. Even though Jamel came after me, I took a couple of things from Jamel. And Jamel probably took a couple of things from me. So, at the end of the day, you gotta win. If you're not winning, you're gonna have a problem with youth football. And that's how I look at it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta win, bro. You gotta win. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the thing. The ego gonna come with the game. You already know everybody gonna talk this smack.
Yeah.
Every week. What I do like about New York, that you see in other states, they gamble on their games. Like, New York really don't be doing that. Like, I've never really seen the coaches actually gamble money on their games. Like, you know what I'm saying? But other states, they hard with that. Like, they do what they do. They do it for real.
Yeah, I seen that firsthand. They bet mortgages and everything.
Like, a youth football game, like, I seen that. I seen that, I think, on a couple of shows on the sideline. Dude, what you got? Like, New York don't really do that.
Wow.
I've never saw nobody from New York be like, yo, I got a stack on the Tiny Mike game. Like,
wow. I mean, they that confident? They that confident in the kids?
On a stack, that's the Tiny Mike game. That's what they do in the little game. The older game, they go for like 5,000 or more, man. Like,
what state your brothers is from?
I'm New York.
New York. I'm out in Queens, just.
But my kids played in Georgia and in Florida.
Okay, what about you, Brad?
Yeah, I'm from Long Island, so I do know what you're talking about. I do know what you're talking about. I've seen it. I've been around.
Well, I ain't never seen that. I'm like, really?
Where you from, though?
What team I'm from? Like, not my program?
Yeah.
So before this, I'm from Longwood, out in Suffolk County.
Okay.
You heard of Longwood? Yeah.
Yeah, I heard of it. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of far, right? Suffolk, right?
Yeah. Suffolk County. Yeah, Suffolk County.
I actually was trying to work on scrimmaging the Chiefs, and TJ was like, "Nah, that's way too far. So I might have to go to East New York." I'm actually working with TJ and another one of your coaches right now on another project. We're going to AC to go beat up on some people in another tournament. So.
Do you mean that State Farm thing? You talking about State Farm? You going to the State Farm tournament?
Listen, we got some goons. So,
okay.
Coach Just, you're on mute right now. You got to get off mute.
Just on mute?
Yeah.
What happened? He just the camera just dropped.
He did it.
He did it by accident? Oh. Well. Yeah, I wanted to ask him because he said when I want to, because it's another thing. It's like it's out there. Like, if you don't win, you don't get kids. If you don't win, you don't get kids, or your organization ain't. I just wanted to ask him: is that the case? That if you win, people's gonna flock to you, but is that good?
Coach just was talking about ego.
Yeah, he's back.
Your question was on ego.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think he's back now.
I wanted to ask you this question.
That was really just the ego thing. I've been in Maryland. I've been you've been in nationals. I see it like my thing. I used to get really caught up in it like that, but at the end of the day, life too short. We getting older. I ain't trying to catch no stroke. I ain't trying to do none of that. Cause when I was younger and we was doing this, we used to have like you really gonna have a stroke out there on the football field.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Coaching the kids. So I'm getting older. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to die on no field. And
I want to ask you.
I'm still involved in the kids, but I haven't been out there in like 3 years. So those coaches is doing their numbers. Let them continue doing their numbers. They good. I'm gonna just sit in the cut and just watch.
I want to ask this question, Justin. You said that long as you win. I mean, what is the benefit of winning for an organization? What reward you get from that?
More kids.
Oh, more kids. You really
you ain't getting the kids. This is the key that I see because I've been doing it for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Like with our organization right now, a lot of our coaches don't even want to they rather patrol their own sidelines. Mm-hmm. They don't want team moms and team dads coming them because they don't want the drama.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wants to be looking over their shoulder trying to coach and dad that's holding the chain just talking about this and that. Nobody want to go through that. You know what I'm saying? Or the mom is, it's too much drama.
Yeah.
Nobody want to be there. People just come out there, they work, they want to coach football, win or lose, and they go home. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
My thing is that, I've been doing it, bro, I haven't felt like 19 years, but it's 19 years.
Mm-hmm.
This year be the Hurricanes' 20th year, and I came behind them.
Mm.
And I know Bellingham came, Bellingham got to be going on 15, maybe 17 years.
Mm-hmm.
They've been here for a minute too now.
That's the Harlem Jets.
Yeah,
okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, but that's the biggest benefit.
Okay.
You gotta look good. That's number one.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, win. And number three, you gotta move like a family, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And you gotta it's hard. You gotta find a way to keep your coaches happy. That's also number one.
Yeah,
But your coaches, they gotta be loyal, bro. And and at the end of the day, the coaches that I have stay with me when other coaches try to separate and go start their own thing and take my kids and you know what I'm saying? I've been down that road before people left and took kids. It's no big deal because I was available, so I know how to recruit. But I was nervous.
Mm-hmm.
But my wife and my coaches held it down, and the program is bigger than what it been before I went away. You know what I'm saying? So the program, the engine is, the gas is on full.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
I talk to a bunch of coaches, and they come up with the same thing about the winning thing. And I wanted to ask you this here. What type of kids that you're going to get if you win? Because there's kids, this happens that a lot of kids jump from different orgs to different orgs. And I'm like, what is going on? Because everybody's going to high school.
Well, for me, what's going on?
Yeah.
They're not happy with. First of all,
The number one problem is that's why I try to keep a real good communication with my coaches. And majority, like a lot of people don't know, a lot of the coaches that coach with us, I know them personally. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's number one. A lot of them, I know them personally, and I never thought the people that I knew personally would cross me, but they did. And I had people that I didn't know personally, but kept it 100 because they like my vibe and they like what I bring to the table for my organization. You know what I'm saying? And they like, nah, no matter what we ever ask Just, he always says, yeah, I'm going to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they ask me to do something, I'm going to do it. If they ask me, yo, we need extra socks, I'm going to get it. Or this extra, or that, I'm going to get it. You know what I'm saying? Even if I got to borrow money from my friends or whatever the case may be, I try to make it happen.
Yeah, you gonna provide the tools for them to do so they can do what they got to do.
Yeah, it's like you can't be cheap. That's it. It's nothing. You ain't looking good. You gotta remember the kids is different now. Like if you look at all the videos now that. The football videos and the kids is doing seminars, they got ski masks on their face now. It's different. It's like football is hip hop.
Yeah.
Like if you look, remember how basketball used to be hip hop? Football is hip hop now. You know what I'm saying? These kids, every video, touchdown, they got music in it. It's hip hop. So. And a lot of the kids is real advanced right now, man. Like tablets.
But do you think that we can keep it? Do you think that we can keep it that way, right? That making fun of it, but still keep the quality of fundamentals in development. Do you think that we can get it both? Because you might do it good, Just. But someone across town's looking at you, and they cheat the way.
You know why they cheat the way? This is what a lot of these dudes do. When you start a program, why are you starting a program with 14 and 15-year-old kids? That's number one. That you wasting your goddamn time.
You get the gospel now.
You lost the battle. It ain't happening.
You get it.
I've been telling dudes that from the beginning of time, 10, 15 years ago. Number two, I just told all my coaches, yo, bro, we not doing no offense. Don't think about no offense, because everybody want to throw the football. All we doing right now tonight, we indoors doing conditioning. That's what we doing. For the next month, there was probably like another month, strictly conditioning. On Saturdays, then if they want to go outside and they want to mix it up, that's what we doing.
All right.
But we trying to like, I'm not trying to say I'm telling them what to do, but I'm telling them, just follow the program, because at the end of the day, you ain't winning no championships without no blocking. You ain't winning no championships without no tackling. So you might as well get out there and learn how to block and learn how to tackle. And then you can run the same goddamn play 50 times.
Yep.
I don't know if you guys are familiar with these brothers out of Maryland, the Seahawks. This dude had this team since they was like 8 years old, bro. Every year, he won a national championship. Every year, from 8 all the way up. I'm through AYF. He might have started at Pop Water first. Then he went to AYF. Then he went to UIFL. He won a championship every year with 15 kids.
15 kids?
One coach. No, yo, bro, this is no lie, bro. Call Maryland Seahawks, bro.
Wow.
One coach.
Yeah.
Google him. One coach.
15
kids, bro.
Wow.
He beat these dudes from Detroit. They had about 20-something kids. But when I say these dudes make them tap out, bro, they made them tap out. I mean, Alex is familiar with them. He's been the Nationals. The man, they like 15 kids. And all he did was run single wing.
Wow.
Yeah. Run the football down your throat.
Yup.
That's how Mo Better used to be. Mo Better used to be the same way. If you can't stop it, why would you throw a pass if you can't stop the run?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what a lot of dudes do. So, you know, that's just basically what we're trying to do now.
Yeah.
Is get more on the fundamentals, because at the end of the day, this is also key. A lot of the kids ain't physical like that, bro.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
They are a little different.
Dude, that's why, and this is why we were telling them, look, you gotta bring that gangster back. We gotta hit. We gotta tackle. We gotta mix it up.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they ain't doing that, they ain't gonna do it in the game.
Nah.
So, you know what I'm saying? I just want to say one thing, though.
Okay.
I just want to shout out my kids. You know, we had a lot of kids that played for us, you know what I'm saying, that passed away, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like this year, last year, and I just want to shout them out. Lil G, baby, that's my wife's little cousin.
Mm-hmm.
Died from an asthma attack.
Mm-hmm.
Pop Smoke, used to be a Brooklyn Chief,
Mm-hmm.
passed away. My man Hassan passed away.
Mm-hmm.
I think it might be, I'm trying to see, I think it's somebody else. Oh, my man AP passed away. Like, these all kids that we had, man, from the bottom. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and my thing is that where I was at, bro, I seen kids from Harlem, Rifles, the Bulldogs.
Yeah.
Everybody, bro, the Staten Island Hurricanes. Like at the end of the day, bro, I'm here to help the kids, and that's what it's all about. And then when you see them in there, and they like, yo, I know you from somewhere. I know you. And I'm like, they like, oh, it is you. You know, and I always school them, yo, this ain't the place to be. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because even I was in there for something I ain't do. You know what I'm saying? So things can happen. So, shout out to all you brothers that's coaching and helping the kids out, man, and you know, just keeping it 100 with them, man.
All praise and homage to you, brother, because you just gave us a sermon right now. We was in church right now. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to King Just, man, because what you just said, it keys up to what we're talking about. It keys up to what we're talking about, because you can have that swag, but don't forget your way. You can have that, and don't forget your way. It's this, blocking and tackling. If we don't do that, we don't win. You know, and that's the key. That you set up those blocking, you set up those building blocks to your coaches. No, we're doing this, we're doing that, and that's what makes you successful. You know, that's what makes you successful. You know.
You know, that's the key, man. Because if you even look at it now, like, bro, 10 years ago, New York wasn't playing Long Island. I went out there, bro. I went to Long Island maybe 15 years ago, tried to join NSFL, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. Like, the only brothers that wanted to vote me was Hempstead, the old man from Hempstead. Like, I didn't know, you know, there was a lot of, you know, white organizations out there. You know, Shiatsen and it was a lot. The Braves, a whole bunch of these dudes. Like, and this was before Rosedale even joined them. I went the year before Rosedale tried to join. And them dudes like looked at me like they was like I was retarded. Like, nah. Like now look at it.
Yeah.
Predominantly all the black and brown organizations, they doing their own thing now. They like, yo, we not doing that no more. We ain't working under your umbrella and you telling us what to do. And we got all the goddamn kids. Y'all moving further and further out away from us. You gotta remember, bro, we come up playing football. I played with white kids at Canarsie. Like, we went to mixed schools. There ain't no more mixed schools no more, bro. When you say mixed now, you talking about Spanish and black. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no more mixed schools like that in our neighborhood. So when I see Uniondale, and I don't even see Baldwin no more.
Yeah. Just the Zoom is dissing us, man. This is ridiculous, man. The Zoom, I don't know. 40 minutes went that fast? That's 40 minutes?
You should be able to still use the same link. What happened?
I don't know, man.
Log off, log back on?
This Zoom, they dissing us, man. Why
you don't get a different Zoom? I think we did one longer than this before.
Yeah, I'm like, listen, man, I'm not a fan of this Zoom, man. It's just because of COVID. We built this studio for a reason, to get the one-on-one reaction, that this Zoom is new because of the COVID. I really don't a fan to it. So I might got the starter version because I don't want to spend the money. Listen, you gotta keep we gotta choose to keep the lights on. Listen, man. Listen, we want you to come down when you get a chance, man, and see what we built down here for youth sports in New York, man. We built something amazing down here, and listen, man. Thank you, man. You summed up this discussion, and we was glad to hear from you. We glad to see you. And any time I had interactions with you, you was good to me, man. You was fair to me. We talked a couple of times. I met you through Coach Donnie, and I seen you at your ego going, man. I got a story one time, about you when your ego was really big. But listen, man, we glad to have you, man. And you guys want to come back on? Or are we gonna go to a commercial? We're going to go to commercial and figure it out. We're going to go to commercial and figure it out. What we're going to do, with this Zoom thing, man. They just dissing us today, man. They make me want to take out the membership.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to my Kingdom listeners. You're listening to Cynthia Boone. They call me the Queen of Cars. I am the CEO of Kingdom Cars Unlimited, where you will get a Kingdom experience, not a dealership one. We can get you any make or model, new or used. Don't worry about your credit. If it's bad, we don't talk bad. We say trouble, because trouble don't last always. Call us at 917-309-0233. That number again is 917-309-0233. Also, at Kingdom Cars Unlimited, you'll never walk onto a dealer's lot. We deliver your car to the door so you can drive and go forward.
To create a perfect student athlete, you must enhance these attributes: mind, body, and soul. In other words, education, fitness, and nutrition must be a part of your life. And it starts right here at the New York City Youth Sports Initiative.
Let's talk about playing football.
Coming soon, New York's first youth sports football state championship, calling all surrounding cities: New York City, Long Island, Peekskill, Poughkeepsie, Albany, Binghamton, Syracuse, Rochester, and Buffalo. The best youth football teams in New York, ages 8 to 13, competing for a state title. For more information, email nystatechampionship@gmail.com. This championship is organized by New York for New York Youth Sports Organization, Championship Row Podcast, and NYC Youth Sports Podcast Show Incorporated.
A community fundraiser. Each of us helps one of us. Think of a community hit with an epidemic that created financial devastation, massive unemployment, housing problems, and food shortages. To help the community to weather the tough times ahead, we must pull our resources together and create a cycle of funding. A one-time resource is Help Required. Each of us helps one of us. With this continuously cycle of support, we'll relieve the burden off of you, the individual, with the help from the community. To join our community, email us at eachofushelpsoneofus@gmail.com. Leave your name and date of birth, and we'll send you the instruction video.
NYC Youth Sports be back. We got Coach High on the phone, man. What's up, High? What's going on?
I'm here. Just listening in to the show with Coach Gus and Coach Allen and Coach Percival on there. It looked like it was a very
Hold on a second. I'm sorry. Coach Alex got to get out of here. You want to have some last minute comments?
No, I got a few more minutes.
You got a few minutes?
Yeah,
all right. Go ahead, Coach. Go ahead. I'm sorry because he told me.
I just wanted to talk to the guys from that was on the show. A lot of the topics in which that was being brought up were very important to what's going on with the demographics of New York City and New York City football. I believe that there has to be more of an understanding as far as administrations in the high schools, that the youth programs and the programs within the community that support the kids are needed. And there has to be a sense of focus on going back to the old format of having these kids so these kids can get out of the city in a proper rate. You know, so right now, how I see it is like it's somewhat of an attack in a sense for the kids, and they're seeing that there's really no way to stop the train in a sense as far as having the kids get out of the city, because there's a lot of talent in the city. There's a lot of good coaching that's going on in the city, as well as a lot of bad coaching. But for the most part, it has to be a focus on having something centered only for the kids and the kids alone.
All right, what do you think about the social media dilemma?
Social media right now is putting the kids in a greater light because they have the ability to see more of the kids. They having more exposure. So I feel like
you mean at the youth level or at the high school level? Which exposure you talking about?
Both levels.
Well, we talking about the youth level.
Okay.
So
the youth level is a great access key. But my biggest thing is reaching out for the kids now at the youth level. I feel is kind of absurd because you don't know the projection of the kid at 8 years old, 9 years old, if they choose not to play football once they reach 14, 15 years old. So we have to really control our enthusiasm of reaching for kids too young. Let them be kids. We have to do more of the development thing and really seeing what a kid is capable of doing, because not everybody is designed to play football or basketball or baseball or any of those sports. It's just a gateway to getting them to see what God has destined for them. So I feel like there has to be more of a person-centered aspect of youth football as far as the kids. We have to really center our focus on helping the kids in every way possible.
But how do we expand the game on a youth level? Like the kid comes off, some kids are here. Let's say some kids, come off the street and, with no, skill set, or some kids that's got a little more than others. How do we expand the game? Because we have to expand the game so it's like feet in the pipeline. So yes, I feel, right, physical activities would make a rounded kid. I think physical activities, it should be in a kid's life. So if it ain't football, basketball, track, or soccer, or whatever, at the youth level, how do we keep it to the point that we are teaching them the responsibilities of working in a team setting, giving them that building blocks to deal with life, like accountability and responsibility, and finding it in themselves the motivation to find effort. This is the roadmap to find effort where you're going to have success. This what I feel is at this level.
How I feel, because as to probably everybody that you had on the panel during this discussion, And to other coaches that are on the outside, we cannot control what goes on inside a kid's house. We can only demonstrate some of the things that we want
That is correct.
to show to a parent in order to show them what is possible for whatever future endeavor for their kids. What we're doing is not only coaching the kid, we're coaching the fundamentals of the things that parents can follow in order to have success. No one really understands how success is really thought out. Success is vast, so success can happen in many ways for a lot of different people, but we just have to introduce the possibility of doing things the right way. Let's not, like you said earlier in the podcast, let's not take shortcuts. Let's not make excuses. Let's make solutions. And this is something that I learned a long time ago while I was playing for Canarsie High School. We make plays, not excuses. So we really have to understand that there's more to it than what we're doing on the football field, the baseball field, the basketball court. We really have to understand that when we're mentoring kids, it doesn't stop after the whistle blows.
But you just brought up a topic. Now, how do we, as a coach, right? Because we got them a few hours in practice, we got them a few hours in the training camp and everything. But how do we? Are we responsible on teaching? Like, we are we responsible on the whole overall of building the kids?
Yes. Yes, we are responsible.
Hold on. I want to thank Alex for coming in. He has to go, and thank you, Alex. And tune us in, because it seems like you're gonna have to do something at City Hall, man. And we're gonna support that.
Absolutely.
We're gonna try to bring all youth coaches, youth players, support what's going on in public school sports. What's going on in public school sports in New York City will affect us. And about you and Alex and his team and the people that's in his organization is on the front line on helping youth or helping high school or public school sports. And just keep an eye and keep this show is gonna keep you in the loop that we're gonna have to come out in a massive rally about PSAL sports. We're gonna have to do it because that is the road that we as youth sports coaches needs. We need high school. We need middle school sports. We need it.
Absolutely.
So he has to go, and I want to thank him for coming in. And anytime our doors and phone lines and everything is open, just let us know, and I'm gonna flood the airways with the message. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks, brother. Okay. I'm sorry, Coach Hyde. Listen, you say that we're responsible for what?
We're responsible as coaches to giving information.
Information about what? What information we responsible for giving?
Information as far as teaching kids and keeping the kids sensitive on whatever activities in which that they're doing as far as academics, after school activities, at home activities, and basically giving some of the science that we're learning as coaches to the parents.
And still teach the kid how to fire out. Still teach the kid. Still teach the kid how to block and tackle.
Absolutely.
Okay.
We're around some of these kids more than their parents.
For real?
Some of us.
I don't think so, man. I think that number's wrong. Yeah, I don't know. Not that high percentage. You saying that?
How many days do we practice?
The parent lived with the kid, huh?
But remember before COVID,
true.
They had work all day after school. Parents don't come home till 7.
coaches got a private life too. They got to work. We don't get paid on this level. No coach get paid coaching youth sports, so they got to work.
No.
So when are they gonna? The kids go to school. The kids is at home. I think the parents is in their lives more. It's this thing that I see. You know, that coaches feel they have to do more. They just got to be a team player, and stick and ask the parent to, because most parents in youth sports, they're single parents. Most of them. We're talking about a percentage numbers. They're single parents. So, you know, they feel they Ralph, you there? You hear us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Right, but they feel that, you know, and we have ones, 'cause I've coached, and you know, they respect us to be the disciplinary area, to be this and this, and I'm like, no, I just want to be his coach. All that's up to you. I'm gonna, you know, we're gonna try to balance this kid, but you know, you got to do the rest. You know, I mean, it's like, you know, we see these stories that, you know, is a very few stories that a coach dedicates their whole time to a kid. You know what I'm saying? And we see these stories far as, you know, the you know, these movies, you know, Sandra Bullock went on with the Blind Side, and you know, and we see these other stories that these kids, they just a few that you took them out of their home, and those are few kids, but that's not in a higher level. You know, the higher percentage that we send the kids home. And we only have interaction when we're in practice, when we're in the game.
So you're saying that you believe that the kids are in the hands of the parents, which to me as well is almost the truth. But to what we do understand, parents have to work. The kids are in school. They go to football practice. I think they engage in more after-school activities than they are spending time with parents. So we are a little bit more influential to the kids than the parents.
You mean at the youth? You mean at the youth level? At the youth level? For real?
Yes.
I don't know, huh?
Listen, I've had parents call me. I've had parents call me to resolve problems in the house.
Their free time to a lot of the players on their team.
Hold on. Ralph is saying something. What you say, Ralph? Repeat what you just said.
That I can agree with them that there's a lot of coaches that dedicate a lot of their free time to these kids. So they are spending a lot of time with kids, and you gotta look at it. The kids, once they get birthday parties, they spending all this time together. And if you're looking at 15 kids on the team, the kids are spending a lot of time together that they're not at home and they're with these coaches. Because I know a lot of times with my kids' coaches that they dedicate a lot of time to their team. If they, you know, they have to have that passion and all of that time to be able to spend with the kids.
Yeah, but let me bring this up. The documentary, The Brooklyn Saints, and Coach Waller. Coach Waller dedicated most of his time, right? Most of his time to the kids of the Brooklyn Saints, and it was a very movement. It was a very moment, moment, man. That, you know, it brought me to tears. The reason his passion why he's doing it, because he lost his kid. You know what I'm saying? And I had a tear about that. You know, anybody losing a kid. And I understand his passion of it. You know what I'm saying? I understand his passion. But what he sacrificed, though, it seemed that he had employment problems. You know?
Maybe his calling is to be that type of coach, though.
Yeah, but when I'm saying,
there's a lot. Listen.
Yeah.
Listen. There's a lot of coaches. In America today that are football coaches because opportunities didn't happen for them as they were thought to happen. We are all put in place to do a great many things in this world for different reasons. So when you look at a coach like Coach Waller or coach as myself or any of the coaches that you had on the panel, we all have a purpose. And if you're not purpose driven, you're wasting your time. You're wasting your time. You have to have a purpose.
When I'm saying,
have a purpose, like you said, as you're coaching, and you have to have a goal. The goal might not be to win every day, but it should be. You understand? Your goal might not be. Everybody has a different agenda, but we have to know that all the agendas have to be centered around making these kids better and getting them out of the
but coach, how many? But coach, how many kids can you get that much time to? It's 24 hours in a day, and you got a family and you got kids.
I've been coaching over 19 years. As I got out of school playing football, I came into coaching youth football with the Brooklyn Renegades. From the time I was with the Brooklyn Renegades, I think I've coached or helped over 200 plus kids get into not only.
I'm saying how much time you can give in a day. How many kids you can give that time in a day. That's what I'm talking about. You talking about being in a kid's life. It's 24 hours in a day. How much time can you give when you got your own kids, your own family, in your own world?
And I understand that. But you make time. You know why? Because without us, they can't get to where they belong.
But
without us, they can't get there.
Yeah, but that's you saying that is your crusade. That's totally on you. That they don't have parents. They don't have parents. I can see a kid that don't have no parents. You don't think the bulk of it should be? You don't think the bulk of it should be on the parent and we as coaches?
Absolutely, but this is my point, Milton. We have to instill that into the parents. If we don't have that in our fabric as coaches already, how can we instill that into the parents? Because now when the parents see that you care just as much as they do for their kids, guess what that parent then has to do? That parent has to wake up and actually see that, yes, this is the type of the lifestyle that I want for my kid and the type of people that I want around my child.
On the youth level?
We are the gatekeepers. We are the gatekeepers, especially for an extremely talented kid that has projection. So trust and believe, there's people that have alternate agendas when they see certain things, and we have to get across that. We have to get across the agendas. We have to be on one accord when it comes for the kids in New York City. This is just my opinion.
But I'm saying, listen. I'm saying that there's some coaches out there that's doing what you're saying, right? There's some coaches out there. They're only reaching a few kids because it's 24 hours in the day, and if you're married and you got your own kids, you're neglecting them. You're going to be neglecting something. But Ralph, my point is that you're not going to reach the masses of the kids. You're only going to reach,
It's more so about reaching the masses. Yeah. You only can reach the kids that you can reach. It's no reason to dwell on the kids you can't get to. You just have to
so what I'm saying,
the other coaches in that area have the same passion as you.
Yeah, but I'm saying
they're doing the same thing.
I'm saying that I can have the same passion on teaching the kid the game of the game of football, to teach the kid technique and watch him develop, and still send him home to his parents.
Yeah, you can. But
I'm saying I'm saying you can't.
Send a kid home and you have that much passion in them. You send them home and you say, look on YouTube and practice these drills at home.
Yeah, I mean, we all do that. We all do that. We tell parents that if you get him to work out extra, the same thing that we do, push-ups, sit-ups, things like that. If we can work that into his everyday regimen, when we see him on Tuesday, we shouldn't have to spend that much time on it. We can go teach football. We can teach technique. You know what I'm saying? And we gotta wait for him to run around the track. You know what I'm saying? Like he stopped running and things like that, and we gotta wait for that because he's not in shape or he's not mentally ready to do this because he got other issues in the home. We are coaches. We only can deal with what's on the field when it's in front of us. Kids comes in all shapes, sizes, and colors, and mental state. You know what I'm saying?
Spectrum.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, and mental levels also. We don't know what's going on in the home. They teach us that when we go to clinics. We don't know what's going on in the homes because we're not in the homes. Unless you're going to live with this kid or take this kid in your home, you can control this kid's life, but you can't do it like that. And you see him 2 hours a day. 2 hours every 2 times a day, maybe 3 times a week. 2 or 3 times a week.
But I think with that, you got to look at it that hats off to the coaches that are dedicating that extra time.
Yeah,
to the kids' schools and reaching out to the parents to make sure the kids are doing what they got to do and stuff like that. There's still coaches that
and I'm not
things like that.
And I'm not discouraging it. When I'm saying to you, you got your own life. That means that you as a coach has to be strong enough mentally and physically and your life together to give back to a kid. Now, if your life is all screwed up, what are you giving back?
Oh, I agree with that 100%.
Come on. It says you the breadwinner of the house, but you must feed yourself first. You must feed yourself first if you're a person that's going out to hunt, because you can't hunt on an empty stomach. If you're not strong enough to hunt, you're not gonna find anything to feed the family. You know, how you doing? How you doing? You're back. Listen, it's a discussion right now, Coach, about the dedication. What did I say? The commitment of a coach with far as the kids concerned in a family setting. Hi, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
You there, Coach High?
I'm here.
Okay, now Coach High was saying that we should be. Can you repeat what you just said? Because we got great principal here, and I want his views. I want his views on this, and then we got to get up out of here.
I said the passion of a coach should be centered around being around a child and teaching them the fundamentals more so than they're around their parents, because they're with us more so than they're with their parents.
No, so you saying football or you saying life itself? Life. Okay, so our responsibility is teaching football. And with those building blocks, we are teaching.
We're not just football coaches.
Yeah,
we're not just football coaches. We're life coaches.
We what?
We're not just football coaches. We're life coaches.
Oh, okay. All right.
I think that's with any sport. It's not just football. Any coach, they're not just teaching the sport. Any sport, you're not just teaching the sport. You're teaching more about everyday life, what it's like to be a part of a team. Rules and stuff that you have to always follow, always gonna have that boss you gotta listen to. It's just it's like natural. And I look at it, if you haven't played sports, if you never played a sport, it's hard for you to understand what sports teaches you, I think myself.
I wrote down a passage. Coach, principal, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, all right. I wrote down a passage on role model, a person that looks to others as an example to imitate. As a coach, when you incorporate your teaching to be committed, consistent, it turns into passion that leads into effort. And when you got effort, you got success. That's what I believe. That's what I think our responsibility is. That now we got kids on all different spectrum as far as home is concerned and mental capacity is concerned, physical capacity is concerned, and we have to find a common ground that we can reach this to most of our kids, not just one or two, across the board to most of our kids. And how do we do that? How do we do that? That don't reach one kid or two, but we decide which kid that we can give our time to. What do you think, Coach Principal?
All right, so there's a lot to unpack here. I know you're running out of time. I don't think there's anything incorrect that has been said by any of you. You know, from my vantage point, as a football coach, you need to be there for the kid as much as they need it in terms of, you know, whatever their socioeconomic situation is, if they're having trouble at home. I do feel obligated to help out kids even beyond the game if I can, if that's needed. But with that being said, it's also really extremely important to teach them the game and how it particularly applies to life. And I think what Ralphie was alluding to before is if you play, you're able to relate a lot of the examples that you experience in life to sports. For example, for me, I know the things that were instilled in me by my coaches growing up really helped me in terms of being competitive and trying to find a job, being competitive later on, not early, but later on in school when I got to the college level. You need those things instilled in you at a very young age, and you learn a lot about that in youth sports through your coaching. So I try to apply that, particularly in the warm-up segment of my practices. When we're doing warm-ups, it's essentially the preconditioning. And as they're pushing themselves mentally, I'm telling them why they're doing what they're doing, what they're striving for, why it's not just about football, why it's about life, why you don't stop short of the line, why you don't stop at the line, why you run through the line.
Mm-hmm.
And I try to use those examples as we condition to not only physically condition, but to mentally condition. And that mental conditioning prepares them for not just for the football game, but it also prepares them for the life lessons that they have to go through. Mm-hmm. The ups and the downs and the ebbs and the flows of the game, that's life. And it's all something that I try to teach in between the lines. Now, if there's a kid that needs support beyond that, for example, there was a kid that I had where his father had died on game day. Mm-hmm. And just wanted to come to the field. And his mother brought him to the field, and we gave him the emotional support that he needed to get through the day. Mm-hmm. And even the season. You know, there was a play where we were on the goal line, and it was a no-brainer for me that he would get the ball and score a touchdown on this day. Mm-hmm. You know, there's so many different things that we could do as coaches. Mm-hmm. A lot of us, you know, understand the power of the influence that we have in our position.
Yeah. So you were using it. You were using the platform. I think he's on mute. We can't hear you. We can't hear him. Yeah, you're back. You can you hear me, Coach?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, we are there.
Now, you know what I did? I looked at the. That's what I did. Okay, listen. What I was telling Coach Hyde, right, is that we all saw the documentary of the Brooklyn Saints, right? Did you see it, Coach?
Yeah, you told me to watch it. It was a big story across the city and in the islands. So, yeah, I had to watch it. I watched it.
And I was looking at Coach Guala, his story, right? What Coach Guala was to the kids was very amazing, you know. And I at the end of it, I recognized his passion, his effort. I mean, his motivation was because his kid passed away. And so I see how he was interacting with the kids, and he went. But Coach Guala's personal life was in shambles. Coach Guala's personal life was like, if you saw the whole thing, Coach Guala didn't have a job until, you know, going towards the end of it. And I say to to this. Not you are only one person, even though you a coach, right? But you have a personal life, because at this level we don't. This is not like our profession that we get paid for. We are doing this because of the love of the game. What I'm telling Coach Hyde is that it comes as sacrifice when you all in. When you be all in, this is why I believe that it takes a village to do this, right? So we must do this in the creation in the mind frame that they have parents. Now we got to sometimes, like he said, we got to encourage them to kind of chime on what we're trying to do. It doesn't make sense that we're doing and then you're doing something different. Like I used to tell kids that we used to remember, you got the bag, and in your bag is your helmet, your mouthpiece, so everything is in there. Your parents paid for it, so that's your responsibility to keep your equipment clean and keep your equipment in, and hold your own bag. What the parents do, they grab the bag from the kid. I said, why are you taking the bag, Mom? His responsibility. You paid for it. It's his responsibility. So it takes not only us, but it takes the parents to be on board. Now, if the parents is just bringing the kids to us to be babysitters, how far should we go? How far should we commit?
Yeah, look, Uncle Milt, I mean, I saw the documentary and I had to, they took on a lot of criticism, and I'm a very X's and O's guy. Yeah, I've had a lot of success so far, and hope to continue to have success. But with that being said, men in this situation, in this socioeconomic situation, they're called upon more often to be more than just a coach. And honest, I commend them. I commend the Brooklyn Saints for what they did and what they do in their community. It's done all across. But look, man, I can't say anything negative, or I can't act as if I'm above that, because I come from the vantage point of this guy is giving. Yes, he's receiving as well, because, he lost his child and it's therapeutic for him. So it's give and a take, and it's an exchange. But it just goes to show you the extent of positivity that this game can give. And, in the documentary, they admitted that it's not all about football. Some of these kids aren't trying to make the NFL. They're just trying to get off the look.
No,
I know they could have been stronger X's and O's.
Yeah. I talked to somebody.
Attention, the negative criticism. That they have.
Yeah, I talked to a prominent coach there, and he said it wasn't about football. But we're not commenting on the documentary. We're not commenting on it. I don't want to comment on the documentary. I took this part to point out that. Hold on. I'm gonna let you get in. Let me give me a minute. I took this part to show that you're saying you're a coach, right? You're a youth coach. You're here to coach. You're here to build a kid's confident to play this game, and also technique-wise and things, and teach them responsibility and how to be accountable. We're not the parent, right? We're not the parent. There's no way that we're gonna build. There's no way that you're gonna build. You're gonna sacrifice something else, and that's what it is. That's just what it is. Something else is gonna be sacrificed for you to put that much time in. So what I'm saying is that you need the parent. You need the parent. We work with the parent. Sometimes I told parents say, "Yo, get him, coach." No, I need you to get him too. I'm not his father, I'm not his mother. All I can tell him is like, what do you want to do? It's just like you, my God. You're my right guard. What is your responsibility? What is your responsibility being my guard? That means that if you don't go to school and learn, that's your responsibility. You're going to hurt. You only can teach him to be accountable of what he do. You know, I think you go too far when you go, oh yeah, I'm going to, that's his parents. That's what my opinion, that's his parents' job.
So you feel as far as coaches, we overstep the boundaries when we push harder.
Push harder far as football is concerned, sports is concerned. Push harder. Yes,
life?
We should push harder.
How about life?
But
how about life?
On the youth level.
On the youth level, yes. And
on the youth level, so
life,
what is?
Life coaches, like I said earlier.
But what is a kid? What are you worried about a kid? Hold on. I want to ask you the question because you said about life. What is your purpose? What are you trying to prevent for a youth kid about life? Give me an example about life that you know.
Not making the same mistakes that a lot of guys in your neighborhood that you've seen that were extremely great football players, but they work at Walmart or they work at Target. There's nothing wrong with any of it. There's nothing wrong with any of it because those same guys, you could go up to them today and you could speak to them and you see how football basically created a fabric for their lifestyle on a daily basis.
Wait a minute, Coach. Let's back up. You said that you want to teach a life lesson on what? On not to work at Walmart or Kmart? And that you want to teach life lessons and prevent a youth kid, right? And maybe let's say 8, 9, 10 years, you know, that listen, you know, you gotta do certain things to stay out of trouble with certain things so you won't work at Walmart. I don't understand.
No, so you won't make the same mistakes that certain people in their lives have made, and not to say that it's a bad thing to work at Walmart or Target because it's a job. What it is, it's what football and what youth sports teaches the kids is to be accountable to what you're saying. You understand? Our responsibility as a coach and my responsibility personally as a coach is to not allow the kids to make the same pitfalls that I've made and people that I know have made as well.
I disagree with you, bro. We just gonna disagree with that. I feel I feel is this. Do the building blocks of team sports is an individual responsibility. That we must show the kid the power of believing in themselves, that they control their destiny no matter what they do, and be accountable for it.
He's not saying that's not true, though. He's not saying that that's not true, though. Like, what he's saying is, you know, and I understand what both sides are saying. Like, Uncle Milton is saying there's only so far that we can go. You know,
on the youth level,
there's only so far that you can go. I get that part. But on coach's side as well, he's saying that do feel a responsibility to try and teach things beyond the game when necessary. And in some instances, it's more necessary than others. And can I just touch on the point of like, that's on mom or that's on dad. A lot of these kids, you know, mom is at work, dad is locked up. Or mom is at work and dad is dead. So there's no football, you know, there's no going to practice unless the coach is going to pick them up. So, you know, there's so many different factors that come into it to where coaches in that scenario become larger than life.
I agree with you, Coach, because I've done it. I pick kids up. I drop kids off. I fed kids. But I also had to draw the line because personally, I have to dedicate my time to my family and the growth of the people that I'm responsible for.
And that's correct, but there's a balance. So nobody, I feel like both y'all are saying almost the same thing, but it's like one side is going a little further than the other side is willing to go. Meanwhile, it's all true in one way or another. It's all true. Nobody's telling a lie here.
Yeah.
You know.
He went out. You there, Coach?
I'm here.
His service.
Coach, we can't hear you.
Which coach?
Oh, you finished?
Yeah.
You finished talking? I thought you went out.
I'm just trying to say that there's no line on each side being told. You know, granted, I'm a father. I'm also a coach. I'm a father of first, but I'm also a coach.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that I don't care about my players. And that doesn't mean I'm obligated, to teach them right and wrong.
Because
beyond.
Yeah. Hey, Milton.
Yeah.
Milton. To piggyback off of what Ralph just said.
Coach Principal said. Or Ralph said.
Okay, Coach Principal.
Yeah.
To piggyback off of what the coaches are saying during football season. Since I've been with the person that I'm with.
Yeah.
She knows and family knows when football season.
Yeah.
That's the sacrifice. It's football season. We're in tune to what we love. You understand? And I know what you're saying in the aspect you have to pay attention to your house the same way you have to pay attention to what you're doing as far as football. But when it's football season, that's all that matters.
But the thing is that I coached too, and people that knows me even in my neighborhood, I have talked to kids. It had nothing to do with sports. I've talked to kids. I've talked to the mixed up teen on the corner in the gangs and the kids out there doing things, and I have talked to drug addicts, kids, and I told them it's on you. You change you. You change you. If you're not ready to make a change within yourself, nothing is gonna happen, and then I can't do nothing for you.
There's only so far we can go.
It's only so far we can go. Because I'm not saying every kid we're going to save, but if you go out there thinking you're going to save every kid that you come accounted to, you're not going to get a lot of sleep.
No disagreement. But you have to understand, though, there is a call for us as coaches to make certain sacrifices that other people you have to make.
It is. I think it's a group effort. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. It's a group effort. It's me today. Oh, Coach Cat, you next week. Or Coach Principal, you the father and mother. It's not. It shouldn't be one person crusading. Because I'll be honest with you, the reason why one person crusading because some and I don't please don't think I'm saying it to you. Some people think the kid is gonna pan out. That's why they put the time in. It's not like it's every kid. It's not like it's every kid. I mean, it's a lot of broken families out there, broken kids from. It's not even in sport. And you probably walk past every day and not know. So is it a crusade to save all kids? Do sports? We go out there and recruit. Every year to get, a certain thing and certain things going in sports and everything. And we do what we got to do. But let me go, man. I'm staying a little over, man. Thanks. Thank you, Coach High, man. Thanks, man. I talk to you later, right?
All right.
All right, brother. Thank Coach Principal, man. I appreciate you coming on air. You understand the guest that we had tonight, right?
Yeah, now I do.
Now you understand, right? Tonight you're my second best guest.
So I game for 40 more years.
You gonna go back to the number one guest after tonight.
It's all good, man. It's all good. And he said a lot of good things. What you notice is, you know, winners speak the same language. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it was good stuff right there.
Yeah. And he, you know, and I'm grateful to have, you know, a panel of guys like you guys, and we speak freely about certain things. Like, you know, we encourage people to call in. We encourage people to come on to our talks and everything. To get that dialogue, to get that conversation on making what we do perfect, or try to make it perfect, you know. All right, so I'm thank you, man. I thank you. We'll talk later on the phone. You know, we told you about the state thing we doing. You know, this state chip. You know, we getting together all the youth football teams in the state and play for the chip. Later in the fall, and we working on it, and we want some good-minded people together to go come on board with us to make this a reality. You know, we're gonna make it a reality, but make this a better event. You know, Ralph Draper Championship Row. Thank you, man. You know, we working that Ralph Draper show, D1 Championship Row podcast. It's really coming soon. We're going to figure out. We just got good news that youth sports will be back. Some parts, you know, they're going to open up the permit soon. So we will have youth sports back on it, and we will be covering youth sports, you know, highlights and scores and rankings and stats with Championship Row podcast, with D1 Nation, Ralph Draper Championship Pro podcast. That'll be coming out soon, and they're gonna be doing that. So let's get out of here, man. Thank you for guys showing up on the Zoom. Thank you, King Just from the Brooklyn Chiefs. Thank you guys, and we hope we'll be back next week with a brand new show, different topic, you know, and still staying on 33 episode, and we out of here.
Thanks, bro.